The Americans with Disabilities Act prohibits discrimination against an individual with a disability. An individual with a disability is defined as a person who has a physical or mental impairment that limits major life activities. Public transportation, being very important, is covered under Title III of the ADA. Title III prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability in the activities of places of public accommodations. People with disabilities make up about 40% of the people in the United States who have difficulties getting the transportation they need. Frances Copper is an employee of Blind Industries and Services of Maryland who has been employed for over 3 years. She has made arrangements in order to make it to and from work on time.
In the morning, I comes by bus, and the bus is transportation from Cambridge to Calvert Street. Another bus comes, picks me up, and rides me around till I get to work. It takes 45 minutes to get to Calvert Street from Cambridge, and then another 45 minutes from Salisbury transportation to Northwood Drive.
According to the 2010 census, 98% of public transit buses were lift or ramp equipped. Though many buses have been equipped with lifts and ramps, many people with disabilities still suffer from poor transportation difficulties each day. Copper has been faced with many problems regarding transportation for work travel. The American Foundation for the Blind outlines what people who are blind need to do in order to access and use mass transit. They recommend knowing the physical surroundings of the transit stop, including the vehicles, schedules, maps, and directories. Copper explains the dangers of being alone at a bus stop as a person with blindness.
You're standing there, don't know what they're going to do to you or whatever. So you're standing there waiting on another bus to come to pick you up. In the meantime, you're sitting there being vulnerable, not knowing what's going to happen to you.
According to the United States Department of Transportation, 12% of people with disabilities have difficulty getting the transportation they need. 33% of people with disabilities say that there is no or limited public transportation available to them. Here on the Delmarva Peninsula, Shore Transit offers transportation for individuals on the lower eastern shore of Maryland. Shore Transit offers paratransit for those who have disabilities. A survey done by the United States Government Accountability Office in 2012 found that 59% of transit agencies coordinate with health and human service providers to improve ADA-compliant paratransit services. The survey also found that 62% of transit agencies had improved their fixed route services since 2007. Jody Lemon works at Shore Transit as the ADA coordinator, and she oversees the applications for ADA customers and handles reports for the Federal Transit Administration and Maryland Transit Administration.
Paratransit is a curb-to-curb service for persons with disabilities. It's an application process to be eligible. It's a 6-page application. The last page is to be filled out by a physician dealing with a disability. Once certified, they can get curb-to-curb services, which means we pick them up at their home, take them to their destination, whether it be medical, a friend's house, they want to go to the mall, wherever, food shopping, pharmacy, wherever they want to go, for a small fee.
The fee is $5 per boarding if you live within 3/4 of a mile of the route, and $4 per boarding if you live outside of that area.
You have to not only just have a disability, you have to have a disability that limits your ability to get to the fixed route bus stop. If you're able to get to the fixed route, you're not necessarily qualified for paratransit services.
Though paratransit offers services for people with disabilities, it doesn't come without its problems. Walter Rice, another BISM employee, says it can take him up to 2 hours to get from Crisfield to BISM each day, which is normally a 40-minute ride. If he were organizing the route system, this is what he would do.
Well, they handle 3 counties. What I would do is just keep the Somerset County people on the Somerset County bus, where I live, and the other 2 counties, Worcester and Wicomico, keep those passengers on that one, on theirs.
He says having to call in advance is not as convenient as simply going to a bus stop. To schedule a shore access ride, an advanced reservation is necessary. It is recommended that Shore Transit's customer service center be contacted by 4 p.m. the day prior to the requested ride. This alone can be seen as an inconvenience for many people with disabilities because they are not given the same convenience as an able-bodied person. Companies like Uber have come under fire recently, including a February 2015 court case involving the National Federation of the Blind of California and the inability to access their services with a service animal. According to the case brief, Uber mishandled the guide dogs and harassed the customers who were blind. This is still an ongoing case, and it has yet to be determined whether or not Uber was in the wrongdoing. According to Uber, they claim that it doesn't fall under the ADA's jurisdiction because it's a technology company, not a transportation service. In recent years, there have been court settlements involving bus companies where a fixed route bus service did not comply with ADA regulations. For example, it was found that Holy Spirit Tours in California failed to make accommodations for tourists with wheelchairs. Holy Spirit is a fixed route, over-the-road bus transportation service, and it is found that none of their 14 vehicles are accessible to individuals who use wheelchairs. In response, Holy Spirit was given 60 days to draft written policies and procedures stating that persons with disabilities will receive transportation, draft a service request form, and post notices on all websites and at all bus stops, indicating its obligation to provide accessible transportation. They were also given 90 days to train all employees and contractors about the requirements of the ADA. The ADA is designed to create equality for all people. Here on the Eastern Shore, there are several different services that complement one another. However, users say logistics need to be improved. For more information surrounding commercial transportation and the Americans with Disabilities Act, please visit our website at www.adatransportation.weebly.com. In Salisbury, Maryland, I'm Garrett Rowe reporting.